Hello.
Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about the third unit, that is metals and alloys, which is very important topic of MOC2 subject, and it carries 40 marks in the main examination. In this unit, we'll revise the properties, uses of ferrous metals and non-ferrous metals and three different alloys. So let us start with the definition of ferrous metals, non-ferrous metals and alloy. As you know all, ferrous metals are the metals which carries the iron as the main important ingredient or main important metal, known as ferrous metals. Whereas non-ferrous metals are the metals which will not have the main ingredient as iron. Alloy means it is the intimate mixture of two or more metals. So, in the ferrous metals, we are going to discuss about cast iron, wrought iron, mild steel, their properties and uses. In the non-ferrous metals, we will discuss the properties, uses of copper, aluminium, zinc and tin. And in alloy, we'll see the alloys of aluminium, copper and steel. So, let us start with the cast iron. So, you know already cast iron, wrought iron, mild steel, how we are going to classify them means on the basis of carbon content. Cast iron contains the carbon around 2 to 4%. So, what are the different types of cast iron? Just see, there are 6 different types of cast irons are there. No need to explain, only list the types of cast iron. Grey cast iron, white cast iron, mottled cast iron, chilled cast iron, malleable cast iron, toughened cast iron. So, grey cast iron means its color is greyish and it has a crystalline structure. It melts easily, it is soft and weak in strength. Explanation is not necessary. Then also we'll see one sentence about each one. Second is white cast iron. Its color is silvery white. It is hard, melts with difficult and it cannot be used for casting. Third type of cast iron, mottled cast iron. So its color is between grey cast iron and white cast iron, and this is used for casings. Next type is chilled cast iron. Chilling contains the making portion of cast iron hard and other portion soft. Some part may be made hard and some part may made soft, which is known as chilled cast iron, and we are using such one for the preparation of castings. Next type is malleable cast iron. It is prepared from the cast iron and is used for railway equipments, automobiles, etc. Last one is toughened cast iron. It is prepared by melting the cast iron with wrought iron waste products. So these are the 6 different types of cast iron. You may get list the different types of cast iron means only list grey, white, mottled, chilled, malleable and toughened cast iron. Directly we'll start with, which is very important one, properties of cast iron. So properties of cast iron, it has around 14 different properties. So we'll see one by one. So first one, before starting the properties, already you know brittle means what, ductile means what, malleable means what. Ductile means here the metal which can be drawn into thin wires. Malleable means the metal which can be drawn into thin sheets. Malleable material, malleable metal will say. So, what are the properties of cast iron? We'll discuss them. First one, When cast iron is kept in the saline water or salt water, automatically it becomes soft. Second property, due to continuous heating and sudden cooling, it will become hard. Third property, it cannot be magnetized. Next, it does not rust easily. You may think rusting is a born property of iron, but we are comparing in the cast iron, wrought iron, mild steel regarding the percentage of rusting. So, in the cast iron, you must say it does not rust easily. Next property is it is fusible. Next, sixth property, it is hard and also it is brittle. Brittle means when a maximum load is applied, it breaks into pieces. Brittle in nature, we'll say. Next, cast iron is not ductile. Next, it's MP. MP means melting point or melting temperature, we'll say. Means at which temperature it starts melts. That is melting temperature. And at what temperature the metal is going to boil is known as boiling temperature. So in the cast iron, melting temperature is around 1250 degrees centigrade. Due to cooling, the cast iron shrinks here, and it has specific gravity 7.5. It is a granular and crystalline structure. It lacks in plasticity. Cast iron is weak in tension and strong in compression. And two pieces of cast iron cannot be welded or riveted. Like this, 14 different properties of cast iron. Next is the uses of cast iron. Where we are using the cast iron? Cast iron is used for the preparation of gas pipes, water pipes, sewer lines, manhole covers, sanitary fittings, cisterners, etc. And second use, it is used in preparing the gates, lamppost, spiral staircase, brackets, etc. Third, it is used for the manufacturing of columns, bases of the columns, gazetted base plates, etc. Next use, it is used to prepare the parts of machineries. But the machinery parts should not be subjected to the heavy or sudden shocks because cast iron won't resist the sudden shocks. Next use, cast iron is used for preparing the agricultural implements, agricultural equipments like a plow, tillage, etc. Next, it is used for preparing the carriage wheels, rail chairs, etc. So these are the uses of cast iron. You may get 10 marks question or 5 marks question. Explain the properties and uses of cast iron. So this is about cast iron. Further, we'll see about the wrought iron. Wrought iron carbon content is only 0.15%. So it has 10 different properties. Little bit change is there between cast iron and wrought iron. See carefully. So first property of wrought iron, it becomes soft when it is heated into a white heat. White heat means starting heat, we'll say. Next, it is used to form the temporary magnets. Next property, it fuses with difficult. Next, it is moderately elastic. Next property, it is not affected by salt water or saline water. Whereas cast iron, when it is kept in salt water, it becomes soft. But here, wrought iron, nothing will happen to the wrought iron. Next property, it resists corrosion in better way. It is ductile, malleable and tough. Melting temperature is 1500 degree centigrade, whereas the specific gravity of wrought iron is 7.8. When you observe the fracture, it looks like bluish color, clear, and silky luster with fibrous appearance, etc. Then comes uses of wrought iron. We are using the wrought iron. We are using the wrought iron for preparing the chains, survey chains, rivets, ornamental works, water and steam pipes, then for preparing the bolts, nuts, horseshoe bars, handrails, balusters, then boiler tubes, roofing sheets, timber roof trusses, etc. These are the uses of wrought iron. Now we'll move towards the third ferrous metal, that is mild steel. Mild steel has the carbon content about 0.25 to 1.50%. So sometimes it has the carbon content may varies from mild steel to hard steel, that is about 0.10 to 0.25%. So let us see the properties of mild steel. It can be magnetized permanently, whereas cast iron and wrought iron cannot be magnetized, but mild steel can be magnetized permanently. It can be forged and welded. Next, it cannot be hardened and tempered. Next property, it has got fibrous mass, fibrous structure. It is malleable and ductile metal. It is not attacked by any salt water. It is tough and more elastic compared to the wrought iron and cast iron. Next property, it is used for all type of structural work. Next, it rusts easily and its MP is 1400 degrees centigrade. Its specific gravity is 7.80 and we are using mild steel for preparing the motor body, sheet metal, boiler plates, tin plates, structural steel, etc. So these are the three different types of ferrous metals: cast iron, wrought iron and mild steel, their properties and uses. Next, we move towards the market forms of mild steel. In the market, mild steel is available in which form? Let us see. Market forms of steel. In the market, steel is available. Steel means it is not stainless steel, mild steel. Steel is the technical term of iron, technical word of iron. So in the market, the steel is available into different forms like rolled structural steel sections. In that, we are going to have 8 different sections and tubes bars. They are angle sections, channel sections, I, T sections, steel bars, tubes, flats, plates. Like this, 8 different types are available in the market. These all comes under rolled structural steel sections. Second, in the market, we are going to have the corrugated sheets. Then expanded metals, structural steel bars also available. So these are the market forms of steel. With the figure we must explain any 5 for 10 marks. So we'll see one by one. First one is angle section, that is which comes under rolled structural steel section. Angle section. You must draw the figure of equal angle section and unequal angle section. That is, it resembles to L shape, equal and unequal. So, angle sections according to Indian standard, the angle sections length will be around 13.5 meter and sections varies from 20 by 20 by 3 to 200 by 200 by 25 mm. And unequal angle sections varies from the sections 30 by 20 by 3 mm to 200 by 150 by 18 mm. And we are using angle sections for structural steel work and for the roof trusses and for pillar joist floors, etc. You must draw the figure of angle section, that is L shape. In that you are going to see equal and unequal, longer leg and shorter leg. Second type is the channel section. Observe the figure. It contains flange and web. Height and width is mentioned here. So channel section, the length will be around 10 meter length, and the sections varies from 100 mm into 45 mm to 400 mm to 100 mm. And we are using same this also in case of structural members. Next is eye section. It resembles the shape of eye, hence it is known as eye section. Eye section available in a different sections varies from 75 mm into 50 mm to 600 mm into 210 mm. Eye section. So same thing once again, it has flange, web you are seeing in the figure, depth and width varies. We are using eye section for lintels, columns, beams, bridges, structural works, etc. So you are seeing a 3D view of eye section here. It is there in the figure. Refer that. Next section is T section. T section sections or sizes varies from 20 by 20 by 3 mm to 150 by 150 by 10 mm. Say it is used for the structural steel works. Last one is that is steel bar. Explain any for you. It is not necessary to explain all. Explain any. Those who are having figure, it is better to explain here. No need to explain steel tubes, steel flats. You explain only the sections and steel bar. Enough it is. Steel bars. So for the construction works, we are using the steel bars. They may be a round bar and sometimes they may be square bars. Round bars, the length will be around 10 mm and diameter varies from 5 mm to 250 mm. And we are using steel bars for all the construction of structures, that is mainly used as a reinforcement along with concrete. And also it is used to prepare the grill works and all. Square bars sizes varies from 5 mm to 250 mm in cross section and is used for steel grill work for windows, gates, etc. Next is that is steel tube. Just listen this one. Steel tubes and steel flats. Steel tubes we are using for staircases, grill works here, and steel flats we are using for windows, gates, etc. So these are the market forms of mild steel with figure. It may come for examination for 10 marks. So this completes ferrous metals. Next, we'll move towards non-ferrous metals. In that, you are going to study the properties, uses of copper, aluminium, zinc and tin, as I already explained. So first, let us start with copper. So in the market, copper is available in 4 different forms. It is available in the form of wire, copper wire, tubes, sheets, etc. So what are the properties of copper? So copper is brittle below its melting point. When the melting point reaches, then it becomes brittle. Second, it can be worked in hot and cold condition but cannot be welded. It is copper color, reddish brown color, copper color, like that it has become famous here. Reddish brown color, peculiar reddish brown color it has. Next, it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. That's why it is used in the preparation of electronic circuits and all things. Next, it is attacked by steam. Next property, not attacked by dry air, but the moist air gives the green color spots or stains on the surface of copper. You may observe that one. Next property, it is not attacked by water. It is malleable, ductile and extremely soft. You can prepare the thin wires, you can prepare the thin sheet and is extremely soft. Next property, its MP is 1083 degree centigrade and BP is 2300 degree centigrade. Its specific gravity is 8.92. Next is uses of copper. Copper is used for preparing the electrical cables, household utensils, electroplating, for preparing the copper alloys, for using the dowel in stone masonry, for preparing lighting conductors, we are using the copper. Next metal is aluminium. Aluminium, the ore of aluminium is bauxite. From the bauxite, aluminium is extracted. So what are the properties of aluminium? Aluminium is very good conductor of heat and electricity. Properties we are discussing. Next, it is silvery white metal with bluish tinge. It is non-magnetic substance. Next, it is not attacked by nitric acid or water. Next property, it resists the corrosion. It is light in weight, hence it is used for the preparation of aeroplane bodies. Light in weight, it is malleable and is ductile. Next property, it is very soft. Its MP is very low, 660 degree centigrade and BP is 2056 degree centigrade. It dissolves in HCl acid. Its specific gravity is 2.7. Then where we are using the aluminium? It is lightweight material, hence it is used in the preparation of making the parts of aeroplane, and for cooking utensils we are using, and it is ductile, hence it is used for preparing the electrical wires. Aluminium is used for preparing the window frames, glazing bars. Nowadays everywhere we are using glazing doors. There we are using. Then corrugated sheets, and we are using aluminium for structural members, post panels, bathroom fittings, balustrades, etc. Aluminium is also used for automobile bodies, engine parts, surgical instruments or equipments. Because it is non-corrosive, hence it is used to prepare the surgical equipments. And also it is used in aluminium alloys. It is used in the preparation of aluminium paints and it is used to manufacture electrical conductors. These are the properties and uses of aluminium. Next, we'll move towards zinc. So zinc has 9 different properties. It burns with greenish white flame and its MP is very less, BP is also very less, 419 degrees centigrade and BP is 907 degrees centigrade. It is bluish white metal. It is brittle at even ordinary temperature. It is a good conductor of heat and electricity, not affected by dry air and also not affected by pure water, but it resists the corrosion. The specific gravity is 7.14. We are using the zinc in preparing the electric cells and is used in the preparation of alloys, and zinc paints are also available in the market. There we are using, and it is used as a protective covering for iron work, plain and corrugated sheets and iron vessels, and also used as a lining to the drinking storage tanks. Last one is tin. Usually tin is prepared from tin pyrites here. So what are the properties of tin? Tin is brittle when it is heated at 200 degrees centigrade. It melts at 231.5 degrees centigrade and it boils at 2260 degrees centigrade. It is white metal with brilliant luster. It dissolves in HCl acid and not affected by dry air and also pure water. It is soft and malleable. The specific gravity is 7.31. It withstands the corrosion due to the acids. Then what are the uses of tin? Tin is used for plating, lining lead pipes, used in the preparation of alloys. Then it is used as a protective cover for the copper and iron utensils and is used for making the cans for food, fruit and milk industries, and tin foils are used for silvering the mirrors and also for wrapping up cheese, chocolates, tobaccos, soaps, toilet soaps, etc. So these are the uses of tin. This completes non-ferrous metals.
Hello.
Next, we'll move towards alloys. So in this, you are going to discuss only three alloys: aluminium, copper and steel alloys in brief. Aluminium alloys. Aluminium alloys, there are three different aluminium alloys are there: duralumin, alderyl or alcad and Y-alloy. Each one you should give the composition of each one with one or two properties and one or two uses. So what are the properties of aluminium alloys? General properties these are. Aluminium properties, they are different. Properties of aluminium alloys, these are different. So what are the properties of aluminium alloys? They are light in weight, same as the aluminium is having. They are ductile and high electric conductivity, and they are having high strength and they resist the corrosion. General properties of aluminium alloys. Same aluminium is also having the same properties. So directly we'll come to the varieties of aluminium alloys. This is very important. Duralumin. Duralumin is the main important alloy of aluminium. Contains 4% of copper with minor percentages of other minerals. So see the composition of duralumin contains 94% of aluminium, 4% of copper, Mg magnesium is 0.5%, Mn, manganese is 0.5%, silicon is 0.5, iron is also 0.5%. Duralumin composition. What are the properties of duralumin? It is non-magnetic substance. It takes high polish. It resists the atmospheric agents. It can be forged, machined, and can take very fine finish and fine threads. And it makes product rigid without increasing its weight. It is used for pistons, aircraft, automobile industries, for preparing electric cables, surgical equipments, etc. This is about duralumin. Next is alderyl or alkali. The only disadvantage or demerit of duralumin is it corrodes easily than the aluminium, or it corrodes easily than the other aluminium alloys. So what we are doing means here alderyl or alkali, duralumin is coated with one layer of pure aluminium. The thickness will be around 5% of the core, and that whole product which is formed is known as alkali or alderyl. Duralumin plus one coat of 5% thick of pure aluminium is used, and this is known as alkali or alderyl. Composition remains the same as in the case of duralumin. Properties remains the same. The uses also remains the same. You can add one or two more in the duralumin. The same will become the properties, uses, composition of alderyl. That is alderyl or alkali. Even we can use this one for die casting, pump rods, etc. with the use of duralumin. You explain this. Understood no? Duralumin composition, properties and uses. Same thing you should write in the alderyl or alkali also. The only difference is duralumin is coated with 5% thick of pure aluminium coat. That is alkali or alderyl. Third alloy of aluminium is Y alloy, yellow alloy. So it contains composition aluminium 92.5%, copper is 4, nickel is 2% and magnesium is 1.5%. So what are the properties of Y alloy? It is machined easily, forged and worked. It has high strength and is a good conductor of heat. It is used for making the pistons of engine, cylinder heads, gearboxes, propeller blades, etc. Y alloy. Duralumin, alderyl or alkali and Y alloy are the aluminium alloys. Next, we'll move towards copper alloy. Copper alloys, they are divided into main two groups. They are brass and bronze. So brass. What are the properties of brass? It is stronger than the copper. It resists the corrosion. It can be prepared into the molds, drawn into wires, rolled into sheets, turned into tubes. That is, wires can be prepared, sheets can be prepared, tubes can be prepared, molds can be prepared using brass. So here chart is given. In this, what are the different varieties of brass? So 7 different types of brass are there. You must explain each one with the composition and one or two properties and one or two uses where we are using these all varieties. So first one, cartridge brass has 70% copper and 30% zinc. You observe here brass has copper and zinc content. Iron content is only exceptional in case of delta metal. Whereas the bronze contains copper and tin, not zinc. So brass we are discussing. First one is cartridge brass, contains 70% of copper and 30% of zinc. It is ductile and has high tensile strength and is used for preparing the springs, tubes, cartridges, etc. Next type of brass is delta metal. It contains 60% of copper, 37% of zinc and 3% of iron. It resists the corrosion and is used instead of mild steel. That is, it is used as a substitute. Substitute means instead of mild steel, we can use the delta metal. It resists the corrosion. Third type is low brass. Contains 80% of copper and 20% of zinc. It is strong and is used for ornamental metalworks and for preparing the musical instruments. Fourth type is munj metal or yellow metal. It has 60% of copper and 40% of zinc. It has high strength and is used for preparing the bolts, rods, tubes, etc. Fifth type is red brass. The copper content is very high here. Hence, it is known as red brass. It has 85% of copper, 15% of zinc. It resists the corrosion and is superior to copper for handling the water. Used for preparing the plumbing lines, electrical sockets, etc. Next is white brass. Copper content is very less, whereas zinc content is very high. Hence, it is known as white brass. It contains only 10% of copper, 90% of zinc, and is very hard and strong and is used for ornamental works. Last type of brass is yellow brass. It contains 65% of copper and 35% of zinc. Its specific gravity is 8.47 and it is very strong and used for grill works, for preparing the screws, tubes, rivets, etc. So these are the varieties of brasses with their composition, properties, uses. 7 different types or varieties of brasses are. Next is bronze. It is also the important alloy of copper. Contains copper and tin and other minerals with small percentage. It has 5 different types of or varieties of bronzes are mentioned here in a chart. See them with composition, properties, uses you should explain. First one, bell metal. It contains 82% of copper and 18% of tin. It is hard and brittle. It possesses the resonance, hence it is used for making the bells and utensils. Second type is gunmetal. Contains 88% of copper, 10% of tin and 2% of zinc. It is tough, hard, strong, resists the corrosion. It is used for bearings, bolts, nuts, bushings, piston pins, etc. Third type is beryllium bronze. Contains 98% of copper and 2% of beryllium. It resists the corrosion, hence is used for heavily loaded bushings and heavy duty electric switches, springs, etc. Next type is phosphorus bronze. Contains 89% of copper, 10% of tin, 1% of phosphorus. It is also strong, hard and resists the corrosion. It is used for preparing gears, bearings, springs, etc. Last type of bronze is speculum metal. Contains 67% of copper, 33% of tin and is silver white in color and It has a reflective surface when it is polished, hence it is used for preparing the telescope. These are the 5 different varieties of bronzes. Brass and bronze are the 2 main alloys of copper. You know alloys of aluminium, you know alloys of copper. Next we are moving towards the steel alloys. So steel alloys, in examination or in question paper you may have the question list the different steel alloys. Just see the steel alloys, 10 different types are there. We'll see one by one. Steel alloys, first one, chrome molybdenum steel, chrome nickel steel, chrome nickel stainless steel, chromium steel, chromium vanadium steel. 5. Sixth one is manganese steel, molybdenum steel, nickel steel, then tungsten steel, vanadium steel. See here the chart is given to you. Just go through the chart here. Chrome, first one is chrome molybdenum steel. It contains, the carbon content will be around 0.20 to 0.50%, contains chromium 0.40 to 1.2, 10%. It contains the molybdenum 0.20 to 0.40%. Chrome molybdenum steel is very hard, strong and tough and is used in aircraft industry and oil industry. Second type is chrome nickel steel. The carbon content is 0.17 to 0.43%, contains chromium 0.55 to 1.75% and contains the nickel 1.10 to 3.75%. It is tough and ductile and has a high tensile strength and is used for preparing the engine parts, aeroplane parts, bearings, etc. Next, third steel alloy is the chrome nickel stainless steel. Contains chromium 18 to 20%, nickel is 8 to 12%. It resists the corrosion and is not affected by the acids. Hence, it is used for household utensils, vessels to store acids, etc. It is used. Fourth type is chromium steel. Every time you should explain the carbon content with the remaining metal contents here. Chromium steel. Carbon content is 0.17 to 0.55% and chromium will be around 0.70 to 1.20% and it withstands the abrasion, impact, shocks. Hence it is used for cutting tools, tiles, coils, springs, etc. for automobile industries. It is used and also for preparing the balls, bearings, etc. Fifth type is chromium vanadium steel. Carbon content same 0.17 to 0.55%, chromium 0.70 to 0.90%, vanadium 0.10 to 0.15%. It is ductile, easily worked, it has high strength and easily welded. Hence it is used for locomotive springs, for bolts, pistons, marine engine construction works we are using chromium vanadium steel. Sixth is manganese steel. In this carbon content is 0.3 to 0.50%. Manganese is 1.60 to 1.90%. So it is hard and strong and has low coefficient of expansion. Hence it is used for switches in railway crossings, springs, gears, etc. Next type is nickel steel. Next is nickel steel and tungsten steel and vanadium steel. So you explain steel alloys. The question may come, list the steel alloys. only list all 10, explain any 5. If he asks the explanation, then usually he will not ask. Then also if he asks, then you must explain any 5 with their content, properties, uses. So this completes the alloy. So totally today we have gone through ferrous metals, non-ferrous metals and alloys. That is third lesson, metal and alloys, very important one and easy to understand, and for the examination purpose please be prepared for this. Already you are having the notes of this, and if any question arises please ask me, don't hesitate to ask. So with this we'll end. Thank you all.